Hi, I'm Cheryl from IAHGames. I'm the Community Manager for Hellgate London for Southeast Asia. I'm here with Bill Roper, the Chief Executive Officer for Flagship. Hi, Bill.
Hi, Cheryl. How are you?
Good. I'm just going to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
So thanks for your time.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's start by telling us more about yourself. What's the best part of your job?
I really think the best part of my job is the people I get to work with, honestly. It's really what gets me excited about coming in the office every day is the team that we've built here. There's about 19 of us within Flagship that have all worked together at Blizzard on the Diablo properties, guys from both down south and up north. And then we've brought a lot of people in from outside the industry, from other game companies, and we've really built, I think it's maybe the best team easily that I've ever worked with. So that's, to me, the biggest thrill about coming into the office is that I get to interact with all these people on a daily basis.
That's fantastic. So how did Hellgate London come about, the idea to create Hellgate London?
Actually, the first day that we started the company was Eric and Max Schaefer, myself, and Dave Brevik, and we were at Dave's house talking about ideas on what we would do. And we threw around a bunch of different ideas, and then Dave kind of finally came with the idea of saying, okay, here's my high-level concept. The Diablo-style gameplay, but in Half-Life type of setting, so 3D world, be able to do really cool quests and storylines, and have that kind of graphic richness and immersion, but then with all those Diablo-style action RPG elements and randomization and customizability and all those kinds of things that make that gameplay really fun. So that really, I think, the genesis, the core of the idea even just started on day one, and we just kind of ran from there.
Okay, wonderful. So why was London chosen as the template for Hellgate London? Why not another country or city?
London, a few reasons. One, Max threw it out originally because he really liked the architecture of it. Max is an architect by education, and so he's very much into how cities look and feel, or even locations. And so we were talking about a real-world place to set it. He really liked London as a setting because of the mix of modern and ancient. The city's been attacked a lot of times, or been trying to get taken over or destroyed, and over the years it's kind of rebuilt itself. But they don't replace, they build next to. And so you get this great mixture of everything from Elizabethan to Victorian to Gothic to modern day, and you even have like ancient Roman ruins within the city. So there's a lot of textures for us to play with. On top of that, it was a location that would be fun for us to work within because it was an international city. People from all over the world know it, and they visited it. But at the same time, it wasn't someplace that we spend a ton of time in. It wasn't in the U.S. We also like the mythologies that have grown up around London, all the Arthurian legend, the fact that it was originally founded by Druids, and there was all these things. And then really the other part, and this was the kind of the capturing component for it, was that there's that city underneath the city, the London Underground, the sewers, the old Victorian sewers, the World War II bomb shelters. There's plague pits that were done in the 1600s. There's actually other rivers that run underneath the city. There's all these things that are, and of course the underground system, all there for us to play with as being modern-day dungeon settings. So, I mean, really as a whole, the game became as much about the location as it did the characters and monsters.
Okay, fantastic. All right, I'm from Singapore, so this is an exciting question for me. Will we be possibly seeing a Hellgate Singapore in the future?
Well, one thing we'd like to do is to actually be able to explore other regions and cultures and mythologies and heroes. So Singapore could be a place we end up. The thing that was really fun for us about London is even though some of us knew a lot about the city and the culture there, it was really fun delving into the things that are there that really make up the history of the place, the different views of what both heroes and monsters are to those people. And I think that is something that would be really exciting about being able to take the franchise to other locations is, the looking into how all that richness of that culture then can be brought into a game. So it's something I hope we really get to do.
Awesome. All right. Have you noticed any differences between the gamers in Southeast Asia and the other big territories such as Japan, Korea, China? Yeah.
We actually haven't spent a ton of time in Southeast Asia yet, and it's something we're looking forward to doing. I have found that every region tends to have something that's different about their gamers. So I fully expect that we're going to find something that's fascinating, compelling, and exciting about the gamers, their style of play, the types of games they like. And for us, it's a great reason we like to travel. We like to work with communities in all these different areas, is to get their feedback, to learn what it is the gamers there want and what they appreciate. But based on all of our initial reactions and interactions with the community of Southeast Asian gamers, I think they're going to prove to be some of our best ones we've had.
Great, fantastic. IAH is sim launching Hellgate London with the rest of the world. What are your views on Southeast Asia being the next big territory for the online games market?
It's really exciting. I think Southeast Asia, I think IAH is actually doing a great thing by kind of combining all the forces of the Southeast Asian countries into one powerful block. Then they can go out and attract games and attract all the interest of the global community with that. Has so much potential. I mean, it's very reminiscent of Korea and then China. It's like the next market that you can tell is just ready to explode because there's so many people there that love playing games and are passionate about it. And now the technologies are coming online. Singapore kind of being this technology hub for the region, I think is fantastic. Last time I was in Singapore, we actually had lunch with some of the Ministry of Technology people, and they were talking about, well, here's how we're going to be setting up. Here's what we're doing over the next 5 years. It's an amazing plan, and it's something that we really recognize as being an important cornerstone for then having that entire region being online and really being able to get all their gamers into that global community. So I think it's going to be huge. It's going to be a lot of fun being there from the early days of it.
Fantastic. Is Hellgate coming out the way you originally envisioned, or has it morphed to incorporate many other things that weren't there originally?
I think that it has stayed fairly true to that original vision from day one. We didn't design the whole thing out, so we kind of try to make that core, maybe that skeleton that we hang everything onto. And there definitely have been things that have incorporated into it as we've gone through, and we have a very organic process. So we get things in the game as fast as we can. We try them. Things that are good we keep. Things that are bad we get rid of. We do more of the good things. We're always open to suggestions. We make tons of changes constantly. But I think that even though the project has grown and fleshed out over time, it has really stayed true to that core concept that we had. So that's really good if you can maintain that vision. That's something we worked very hard on.
You've gifted your voice in many games you worked on. Will you be appearing in Hellgate?
I am in Hellgate. I have a couple of characters I'm doing, but I have to audition just like everybody else. And in fact, one of the voices that I did, we listened to it later and was like, yeah, that's not good enough because the other stuff was coming in, so I had to redo that voice differently. But yeah, I have a couple of characters that I am in the game, and people can try to figure out who it is. That'll be good. See if they can guess who I am.
All right, last question. What's the first class you'll play in Hellgate London, and why?
Ooh, that's tough. One of the things we do during the development process is that some of us are class advocates, which means we only play one class through all of our testing. And I've been a class advocate for the Evoker class. So I don't know if that means that I'm going to feel really solid with it, I'll jump in and do that, or I'm going to want to do something completely different. I really like the idea of the engineer. It's a pretty fun class because you get to both have disposable, these bots that kind of hover around you and have specific elements, or then you have this drone that you build over time. You keep growing it, and it kind of levels with you, and you put new items on it, and you get new abilities that you can retrofit it with, where you can upgrade it to have swords and weapons and guns and armor, and that just seems really exciting to me. Like I could have this kind of secondary character almost that I'm building up in a different fashion. So I'll probably either stick with the Evoker because I'll feel like I really know it day one, or I'll probably play the Engineers because I like the idea of constantly tweaking and tinkering with a little pet that I have on the side.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Bill. Thank you.